What is up, everybody? Another day, another museum. Today we are out at a small airport called the Nut Tree Airport in Vacaville, California, and I saw that they have a military and aviation museum, so we're gonna go check it out. Let's go explore. Here they are, open Monday through Sunday, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Looks like a large building, so should get a cool little display. It's the Rowland Freedom Center, Honor, Education, and Patriotism. I got a display on the Gonzalez brothers here. Looks like California and Arizona. That up there, yeah? She said that flew in 1912. It's unreal.
Everything is authentic except the pilots and the puppet.
Another little display. She said that plane not only flew in 1912, but everything on it is authentic and of the time. So it's pretty crazy. They got some photos down here of, it looks like that actual piece. The guts it must have took to go fly in something like that. A display on the Revolutionary War. A reproduction of the Constitution there. This is an original Continental Army pay slip from 1781. That's a really cool piece. And there's an old like newspaper article from 1783. Got some old photos in it. These photos here might be of this piece. It looks like the Metfield Air Base bomb explosion. I don't know if that might be, that looks like a piece of the bomb from 1944. Right here we got a plaque talking about the Medal of Honor recipient Orson W. Bennett. There's the Medal of Honor. 1887. And some Civil War uniforms here. A Civil War drum from 1865. The 1851 Colt. Oh, that's wild right there. Those two rings, it says, were brought home by Clark and rumored to be made from leg bone of dead Confederate soldiers. Wow. New York Herald from Lincoln's assassination. Discharge papers for Clark. And there's Simeon Clark's photo and Mary Clark. They got some actual uniform buttons in the back. And there's some different artifacts down here. An 1880s Civil War fifes. I think those are flutes in the back. Some old Civil War bullets. Here's a plaque talking about the Spanish-American War. And it looks like these might be some artifacts. Holsters from the 1890s. A 1903 Springfield rifle. (1910) ranks and medals down there. And an 1890s Army canteen. And then in this case next to it we have a saddle. Cavalry swords from 1906. (1898) war banner down there. They have quite the collection of artifacts here. I was expecting more of just some airplanes and stuff, but this is pretty cool. And they got a couple uniforms here. Looks like they have a few different engines over here. Engine from a V8 engine here from the Waco 9 or Waco 9 and a GN4 Jenny. Water-cooled aero engines. This one has a little hand on it so you can actually the Wright J6 Whirlwind 9. This was used in tanks and planes, I guess. Maybe that's why a tank was so dependable. Pratt & Whitney R1690 Hornet. Used in a few different planes. And here's one of the Waco CTO. This thing looks beautifully restored here. World War I uniforms here.
Never even really gave it much thought.
Old World War I rifle case and some swords. A German officer's sword there. Army Air Service uniform for Leonard Haskins, World War I. And then here, also from World War I, a couple Army uniforms. Fred Jacobs and Walter Clinton's. And then move into the next case. You got Army Air Corps. This is from World War II. So from like France and Germany, World War II uniforms. And this is an actual Air Corps jacket, round trip. And then more World War II uniforms. Can't really see it because of the reflection, but let me get to the side here. This is Air Force Officer Chris Williams uniforms. World War I overcoat for the Army here. And then you got some more World War I artifacts. Snoopy and the Red Baron book.
Does this detach at all from this?
From the Red Baron.
We make the whole thing to put this.
Bayonets down there from World War I. And this is, I guess, a tank uniform.
I'll make sure that you guys take it the other day, just like an incentive. Right, yeah, there you go.
Some German guns, a machine pistol. Some German helmets. Some flags. Officer's uniform. Here's a German command car. All I can think about is Indiana Jones. And then here's a German rocket launcher. Auto car. M2A1 half track. That's beefy. A Grumman F4F Wildcat. I guess nicknamed the Ironworks. Completely restored. I had no idea that the wings could fold up like that for storage. A bunch of different artifacts in this case over here. Check this out. The Bleirite? Bleirite? Not sure. Scarabe? This display over here looks interesting. Let's go take a walk through the tunnels.
The Japanese have been driven back to a sheer cliff the Americans call the China Wall. 75mm guns are manhandled to the hilltops to fire.
This guy's in here, he's got his machine gun pointed out. Got some different like shells here. American flag on the back end. Some old marine artifacts. This would be some communication instruments, I'm guessing. Coins, some letters. Early launch, this piece here.
And I read the Bible and a great experience happened. So then when he went and got a Bible.
Yeah, they got some handwritten envelopes and everything back here.
Mitsuo Fushida, the Japanese pilot who led the raid on Pearl Harbor, which thrust the Doolittle Raiders on their incredible journey, died in 1976. Attending his funeral, the Reverend Jacob DeShazer. From the moment the Raiders volunteered in early 1942 to the day when the captured fire leader, Jimmy Doolittle,
here's a huge model of an aircraft carrier.
96, the surviving Raiders remain humble to this day.
Talking about this same Doolittle on Tokyo situation here that the video's playing about. The USS Hornet, Doolittle raid, Tokyo raid here. A nice little display about this. This looks a lot about Pearl Harbor situation when the Japanese bombed Pearl Harbor out in Hawaii. Old radio, this is probably how most people found out that it was happening. The USS Arizona, Pearl Harbor, Hawaii. It says touch a piece of history. The artifact displayed in this case was destroyed in the attack of Pearl Harbor. "1,177 sailors and Marines were killed instantaneous when the bomb dropped." And then you got an old Navy uniform here. There's a congressional gold medal from the United States Mint back there, and here's a certificate talking about it. And the artifact you see right there is from a bomber. Here's some more medals and artifacts in this case. Looks like a flight simulator that's not hooked up right now. I'm guessing this must be a Japanese plane, huh? And then out back, they have a couple planes and army vehicles out here. The lady at the front desk actually opened the helicopter up so you could look inside. A UH-1H Huey. Armored tank here. Got a couple Jeeps out there. Another couple Army vehicles here. The Rowland Freedom Center. Honor, education, and patriotism. Air Force vehicle. And I'm not sure what this last one out here is, but an old Navy plane. Old bomber here. So, that was the Rowland Freedom Museum. Pretty cool spot. Was no cost. A lot of artifacts, a lot of educational displays. Pretty cool little spot. Go back in the hangar. And as always, you exit through the gift shop. I always try to buy something at the gift shop to kind of help these places out, donate some money here. Let's go see what they have. A little Air Force jacket for the kids. Different pins, coins, replica Declaration of Independence there. Some signs. Seems like everything's very reasonably priced in here too. History of our flag. $4. These gnomes here, made by a local artist, Julie Reeves. She'll custom make them for you, $30. These are funny. I like them. Rosie the Riveter gear. Kind of like that hat. Some bombers. The women of the Air Force jacket. This is a very cool jacket. $80. $3 each for some pins. $20 for this NASA hat. It's pretty cool. $25 for a t-shirt. Now this is cool. It's like a building set for the Blackbird. We saw one of those when we were out at Castle Air Force Base. If you go back and look at my past videos, you'll see the Castle Air Force Base video, and one of the last planes we looked at was one of those Blackbirds. That was also a very cool military history spot. This is pretty cool here. You can actually get some old military gauges. $40 for the large, $20 for the small gauge. Something different. It's a couple different building kits here. Wood puzzle type things. And here we go. Where in the world are you from? Let's get it right in there. A lot of Bay Area representation there. So, I got a little t-shirt to help support. I try to do that, like I said, at every one of these museums I go to. It's fun to have kind of a piece to remember your time, but also just to support. You know, these places, most of them are ran by volunteers. It's an important service, it's educational. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Like and subscribe. The support means the world. I hope you guys all have a great day. Peace.